All right, guys, what's going on? So today I want to bring you some excerpts from the opinion and order regarding attorney's fees as it relates to the public information lawsuit that the Sugarloaf Alliance had to bring against Frederick County Government due to the fact that they were not disclosing public records. There is some fascinating information in this opinion, in this finding from a judge in the circuit court for Frederick County, Maryland. So there are things in here that are just beyond disturbing, if you ask me. And I want to highlight some of the things that are in this order. So it's like an 8-page order. We're not going to bring you the whole thing. Just some highlights of things that are just beyond interesting and that the public should see. You absolutely, 100% should see, if you live in Frederick County, what transpired in this case. So in this section right here, it talks about plaintiff's request for attorney's fees. The opinion states, the records plaintiff claims reflected that Frederick County officials had a secret plan to develop a portion of Sugarloaf into an Amazon Web Services data center. It goes on to say that the Sugarloaf Alliance suggests that its efforts exposed what Frederick County officials were attempting to conceal from the public, namely a secret deal between AWS, a private company, and the government without public input. It goes on. This is the actual analysis part where the court looks at what its findings are and how it comes to its conclusion. So it starts off saying the court will not review at great length all the rulings that it made at its previous stages of this case, but some bear repeating. So I want to point out the highlighted portion of this. They write, defendant is correct. Of course, the defendant is Frederick County in this case. Defendant is correct that at trial the court found no evidence of a knowing and willful withholding of documents. However, the documents that were produced after the court's order on June 8th strongly suggest that potential embarrassment to county officials could have motivated the reluctance to disclose them. So that's what we've been talking about. They got caught. They were embarrassed making deals in the back room with Amazon Web Services, and they didn't want it to come out. So it says that, and it goes on to list examples of potentially embarrassing documents that were in the records that Frederick County was not disclosing, but were ordered to disclose prior to this motion for attorney's fees. So some of those things are an email from a county employee dated April 2nd, 2021, expressing dismay with the manner in which the rezoning process was being handled. The employee stated, among other things, the question for the planners is how to achieve the administration's desire for establishing these digital infrastructure areas in a manner that is open and transparent and does not subject me, you, and the planning department to charges of secrecy, insincerity, dishonesty, or even deception. I do not want my, your, and the department's reputation and integrity to suffer, sacrificed as part of this endeavor. So that's right there. That's somebody on the inside saying that what we're doing here could get us in hot water. Surprise, surprise, it did. Then it talks about an email, February 19th, 2021, from a county employee reading, had a scary thought based on the definition of CDI and what we have written to date for the FZ. How will we address other uses in the FZ, such as parks, AG processing, and other AG uses that have been discussed? It's not something we can easily address without letting the cat out of the bag. What does that mean? The cat out of the bag? You're a public institution. You're the government. The cat is always supposed to be out of the bag. And then it goes on to say, I think this one is interesting, there's a reference to something called Project Holiday, which apparently was code word for the Amazon proposal in an email on April 12, 2021. It goes on to say that the court finds significant public benefit to the disclosure of these documents. They suggest that while purportedly open meetings were taking place regarding the Sugarloaf plan, the county was courting Amazon Web Services behind the scenes, apparently under a non-disclosure agreement. How do you like that? How do you like that? Isn't that wonderful? Again, this is the court's findings of fact. It goes on to say, no reason has been advanced to suggest that those records ordered to be produced on June 8th would have been produced without struggle. If that were the case, the county would have produced them when the suit was filed. Absolutely. 100%. And then for the award of attorney's fees, I thought this was interesting. The court finds that unfortunately for the county, let me go back. Let's just read this whole paragraph. It says the court has the discretion to award attorney's fees in an amount that it believes appropriate. It is taken into account that a substantial portion of the documents produced were drafts, cover emails, and redundant in nature. It also ascribes no evil motive to county officials, some of whom were uncomfortably caught in the middle of an attempt to land a large national corporation who might enhance the county's stature and add to its tax base while maintaining the confidentiality Amazon Web Services required. Unfortunately for the county, during this quest, some citizens questioned the transparency of this process and ultimately acquired important information that was of interest to the public. As the county has pointed out in its submission, ultimately and unfortunately, the citizens of Frederick County will bear an award of attorney's fees, an irony that is not lost on the court. So it's saying that the court actually takes into consideration the fact that the public, the Frederick County public, will have to bear that burden of paying the attorney's fees as it relates to the Sugarloaf Alliance. Taking all of these factors into consideration, it goes on to say that they are awarding the Sugarloaf Alliance $25,000 in its attorney's fees. So these are just some of the highlighted portions that I wanted to bring you as it relates to this 7-page order from, let's see, who was the judge? From Judge Robert Greenberg right there. And just absolutely fascinating stuff. It shows in my book, and of course I think much deeper on this issue. I think that there was a lot of corruption going on behind the scenes as it relates to what was actually taking place here. You know, we cannot have deals going on behind closed doors in the back rooms. You know, we can't have county government signing non-disclosure agreements with private companies and then not relaying any of that information to the public. So this was a fascinating order that was released. Let's see, what date was it released? Yeah, released on September 28th, and the public should know about it. So bringing it to you guys right now. Let me know what you think, and we will catch up with you soon.